Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Investing Cav. We're nearing the end of 2021 and I want to end this year with as much educational videos as possible. In today's episode, we are going to do a stock breakdown and analysis video on Micron Technology, ticker MU. Micron Technology is one of the most talked about stocks this week, so we'll take a look at their company overview, their recently released fiscal year 2022 Q1 quarterly report, their outlook, the risk factors, the price target, and I will wrap it up with my final thoughts. This channel is growing and I am so thankful for everyone who has joined me on this journey, which started back in June. If you like this content, please help me out by liking this video and subscribing. I am active on Twitter at InvestingCav, so feel free to reach out to me either in the comments here or on Twitter. Alright everyone, let's get started. Looking at their company overview, I want to read off part of their company bio. The world is moving to a new economic model, where data is driving value creation in ways we had not imagined just a few years ago. Data is today's new business currency, and memory and storage are strategic differentiators which will redefine how we extract value from data to expand the global economy and transform our society. As a leader in innovative memory solutions, Micron is helping the world make sense of data by delivering technology that is transforming how the world uses information to enrich life for all. Through our global brands, Micron and Crucial, we offer the industry's broadest portfolio. We are the only company manufacturing today's major memory and storage technologies: DRAM, which is dynamic random access memory, NAND, and NOR technology. By providing foundational capability for innovations like artificial intelligence and 5G across data center, the intelligent edge, and consumer devices, we unlock innovation across industries including healthcare, automotive, and communications. Our technology and expertise are essential to maximizing value from cutting-edge computing applications and new business models which disrupt and advance the industry. Looking at Micron by the numbers, they are the fourth largest semiconductor company in the world. In the list of Fortune 500 companies, they are number 135 on the 2021 list. They currently have 47,500 patents granted and growing. They have 12 manufacturing sites and 14 customer labs, and they have over 43,000 team members. Looking at their company overview, there's a few terms I want to clear up. Micron Technology is known for their memory and storage solutions through DRAM, NAND, and NOR. DRAM is short for Dynamic Random Access Memory, and this is memory that is short-lived. Every computing device such as your laptops, tablets, smartphones all have random access memory, also known as RAM, and it is considered volatile because this data is usually cleared out when we turn off our laptops or phones. And then you have NAND, which is memory that is used to persist data long-term or permanently. For example, you have your memory cards, flash drives, and solid-state drives, also known as SSDs, which you typically see in the specs on your laptops or your desktops. And then you have NOR, which is memory that is used for storing code and execution. Looking at their financials, in 2019 they had revenues of $23.4 billion. In 2020 they had $21.4 billion, and in 2021 they had $27.7 billion US dollars. The pandemic definitely played a role in the decrease in 2020, but Micron is also in a very cyclical industry. There is always going to be fluctuation between supply and demand in terms of memory and storage. Right now we are in the demand phase and supply cannot meet those demands overall. Quite often people just look at trends, and if they see a down year or if it's too cyclical, that's not a good company, and that's unfair. There has to be context in these numbers that you look at. Overall, if I see long term that the numbers are trending up, or if the trend shows stability long term, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see any company continue to lose revenues year after year. With an increase in revenues, they also saw a rise in cost of goods sold. They had gross margins of $10.4 billion US dollars in 2021. In 2021, Micron had net income of $5.8 billion. Looking at their balance sheets, they had $58.8 billion in total assets. Their total assets are way more than their total liabilities at $14.9 billion. What I like about Micron is that they have $7.7 billion in cash and equivalents. This is really beneficial when it comes to research and development, acquisitions, and many more opportunities. Next, I want to take a look at the recently released fiscal year 2022 Q1 financial results. In the fiscal year 2022 Q1, they had revenues of $7.7 billion. Their revenue is down 7% quarter over quarter, but it is up 33% year over year. Their DRAM made up 73% of total revenues. The DRAM revenue is down 8% quarter over quarter, but it is up 38% year over year. Their NAND memory made up 24% of total revenues. That revenue is down 5% quarter over quarter, but it is up 19% year over year. And looking at this breakdown of the revenues by business unit, you can see that their compute and networking, which is CNBU, they had year over year change of 34%. Their mobile is up 27% year over year. Their storage is up 26% year over year, and their embedded is up 51% year over year. And they had free cash flow of $671 million. They spent $259 million on buybacks, which is about 3.6 million shares, and they have a dividend payment of 10 cents per share that will be paid out on January 18th. Looking at their industry outlook, you can expect that in 2022, the demand growth for DRAM is going to be in the mid to high teens and approximately 30% for NAND. Looking at the outlook for Micron, their supply growth is expected to be in line with the industry demand. They are also planning to deliver record revenues with solid profitability with strong shipment growth in the second half of the fiscal year. What excites me about Micron Technology is everything that they are a part of. This article from December 2020 says, according to IC Insights, DRAM was the biggest integrated circuit product category for 2020 with sales of $65.2 billion, followed by NAND coming in second at $55.2 billion. Memory and storage is in every industry out there, and I'm going to take a look at that. This is from the recent quarterly report. On the left-hand side, it says data center revenue grew more than 70% year over year as a result of continued cloud demand and a resurgence of enterprise IT investment. In the middle, you have PC and gaming. It says that low-power DRAM has grown to 20% of the PC industry DRAM bit demand today, and is projected to become the majority of the PC market in 5 years. And on the right, recent 5G phones feature more than 50% higher DRAM and double the NAND content versus 4G phones. 5G smartphone sales are forecast to exceed 700 million units for calendar year 2022. In auto, their auto revenue growth remains strong at 25%, and they are seeing examples of 2022 model year electric vehicles supporting level 3 autonomous capability, with over 140 gigabytes of DRAM and also examples of over 1 terabyte of NAND. In industrial Internet of Things, they saw more than 80% year-over-year revenue growth fueled by continued ramp in applications such as factory automation and security systems. And in consumer Internet of Things, they saw more than 40% year-over-year revenue growth driven by applications such as VR headsets and smart home devices. When you look at Micron, you look at PC and gaming, the esports market is expected to reach $4.75 billion globally by 2030 at a 17.5 compound annual growth rate. When you look at the next generation of cars, they will need about 11 terabytes of storage to handle the data that we throw at them. When you look at the 5G market from 2021 to 2025, you will see a compound annual growth rate of almost 67%. From 2020 to 2025, the 5G equipment market is going to grow by $24.2 billion. And when you look at data centers, the data center industry is expected to become a $1 trillion fifth utility by the end of the decade. This article says that fueled by growth during the COVID-19 pandemic, data center revenues will touch $948 billion by the end of the decade. And when you look at the storage accelerator market, it is expected to reach $154.95 billion by 2030. That is registering a compound annual growth rate of 27.1% from 2021 to 2030. I really hope that you're excited for Micron Technology's future because they are going to be everywhere. When I look at risk factors, I look at the government, competition, and miscellaneous outside factors. When looking at the government as a risk factor, I look at global affairs. This was in September 2020 where the US placed restrictions on China's leading chip maker. And in 2020, Micron stock drops because of a ban on Huawei sales. Back in August 2020, US restrictions prevent Micron from shipping semiconductors to Huawei. This was significant because Huawei made up about 10% or more of the company's overall revenues. And this was a huge blow because it usually takes about 4 months in the supply chain for chips to arrive to a customer. The US Commerce Department regulations issued August 17, 2020 gave Micron until September 14 to halt chip sales to Huawei. There are a lot of trade tensions between US and China, so this is definitely something to keep an eye on for the long term. And this is a mix between government and competition. With the US trade restrictions, that's forcing China to strive to become more self-reliant to bypass trade war issues. This article came out in October that China is pushing to develop its own chips. This has the backing of the Chinese government, and this can definitely have an effect on Micron's revenues in the future. This leads us into competition. Competition is the second risk factor. The demand is high and there are going to be quite a few companies competing against one another. The good thing is right now that Micron is a well-established company. It is the fourth largest semiconductor company in the world. But that doesn't mean much because big players can absolutely impact Micron by taking away some of their customers or companies down the road that might not be big now but in the future may offer better pricing. Research and development will need to continue to pick up. Operational efficiency is going to be super important as well. Look at this pie graph. Smartphone memory market revenue share in Q1 of 2021. You have Samsung, you have SK Hynix, you have Micron, and you have others. Micron is currently third in the smartphone memory market. Look at this 10K. Look at the risk factors. A significant portion of their revenue is concentrated with a select number of customers. In each of the last 3 years, approximately one half of our total revenue was from our top 10 customers. A meaningful change in the inventory strategy of our customers, particularly those in China, can impact our industry bit demand growth outlook. If you remember those US trade restrictions, those prevented Micron from shipping semiconductors to Huawei, which made up about 10% of the revenues. In my opinion, I would really like to see Micron diversify itself. I would like to see Micron reducing their dependence on 10 companies that make up 50% of their revenues. We already saw the impact of Huawei on Micron. Imagine if Apple or another big player decided to leave. And looking at miscellaneous risk factors, there are some things out of Micron's control. These risk factors can be caused by Mother Nature or other risk factors out there. For example, in Texas, there were chip factories that shut down due to a winter storm. And there was a chip factory that was not Micron's that a fire broke out. And the world right now is dealing with a massive supply chain disruption where ships are just chilling in the ocean waiting to dock at the ports. This stuff can take months to resolve and that can definitely hurt the revenues. Looking at their 12-month price target, I want to take a look at tip ranks. 24 analysts have given their stock ratings with 19 saying buy, 4 saying hold, and 1 saying sell. The average price target is $107.83, which is a 14.2% upside from its current price of $94.42. The highest price target is $165 and the lowest is $58. Looking at CNN, 32 analysts have offered their 12-month price target with a median of $103, which is a 9.1% increase. And looking at Micron's stock price, they absolutely killed it this week. On Monday, the stock was $82.10, and right now it is at $94.42, which is an increase of $12.29, a 14.97% increase. Overall, I don't own shares of Micron, but I do like this company and it's very high on my watch list. I'm very interested in the semiconductor space and there's going to be multiple winners. Competition is tough. Micron is going against some massive companies, but I think they're going to do great. Micron powers a lot of things that we may encounter on a daily basis or things that we'll never see. The world is moving towards technology and cloud. And around the world, middle classes are rising, allowing more disposable income to buy phones, laptops, and other items. Given its space and how countries are trying to be self-sufficient and building things themselves, this is something that you're going to have to check up on industry trends and their financials every once in a while. There is a huge demand, and I think as of right now, Micron has positioned themselves long-term to be really successful. With that in mind, there are a lot of things that they and we cannot predict, and that can add volatility and impact their future growth. But given the information that I have right now, top to bottom, this is a very strong company. I hope to see the research and development continue to grow, their efficiencies continue to improve, and continue to diversify as they build their moat, strengthen their relationships, and continue to produce quality products that will play a huge role in powering the world from 5G to artificial intelligence to autonomous vehicles to data storage and many more. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. Please subscribe and let me know in the comments what you think. As we head into 2022, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Your support has been more than I could ever imagine, and I am thankful for that. Have a great holidays, and as always, stay safe, and I'll see you all next time.